this past week, unfortunately, was the passing of Jay Briscoe. It hit the wrestling community. It was a gut punch, I should say, to the wrestling community, just because of the tragic passing it was, and his daughter is involved as well in the accident. Hopefully, they recover well enough. I don't necessarily know like how well you know the man or not, but like wrestling, there's no seasons, right? Wrestling, there's no breaks. We saw a tragedy with Damar Hamlin, who almost died on the field, and players expected to play afterwards. How does this affect here with wrestling going into this? I mean, like wrestlers are expected to wrestle after this, but Jay Briscoe had such a huge impact in the wrestling community, in the locker room, the fans, management, all around. How does that play into the psyche for wrestlers?
It comes back to even how, when Brody Lee left us, you know, um, that was also, and I'm not just pinpointing just, Brody Lee, but that was somebody that was also a huge major influence to a lot of wrestlers inside and outside the ring, that was considered family. You know what I'm saying? No blood could say any different. And it's the same with Jay. Um, this is a time for the wrestling community to come together as one. No more bullshit, no more egos, no more drama. Just come together and let's be better as one. You feel me? Um, Honestly, Jay would want everyone to still be out here killing it and grinding and shining and still putting on and tributing, to him. As well as a lot of people have still been doing to Brody Lee, and a lot of other wrestlers that we've lost. Um, it's gonna be hard for a while because there's no time on how long it takes to grieve. You know what I mean? Like everything takes time. Um, but as long as we keep moving in a positive mindset, um, it'll get better.
Does that factor in though? Like does it factor in like when you're expected to perform like so quick turn around? Like for example with AEW, like they had such a quick turnaround. It's a matter of a couple of days. Same with any indie promoter. It could be even that
I
same
mean,
night. Like
I mean,
like does it play a factor when you go into that match?
I mean, I was at the Super Camp December 3rd. Um, Me and Isaiah were scouting um, for multiple promotions while we were there, which was a huge honor. And I had got the phone call that my mentor had lost his battle to cancer.
Right.
And mind you, the next day I had to wrestle Fred Yehi, first time ever. Um, that was a lot. It was massively a lot. Um, but I knew that if I would have canceled and just stayed at the house and just cried, I would have been miserable. And that's not what Sid would have wanted. He would have wanted me to get it together, put big girl pants on, and go, beat the shit out of Fred. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. Was it hard? Yeah. But I was massively appreciative because, CCW gave me the honor of honoring him by doing a 10 bell salute, you know, um, and paid respect. And everybody was really there for me because it was hard. That was somebody that was very influential in my wrestling career. That's how I understand how people feel when it comes to Jay, and I understand how people feel when it comes to Brody and other wrestlers because that man had a lot to do with my wrestling career. And it wasn't somebody that I just saw at wrestling and then I went home. Like I talked to this person outside of wrestling, like everything. And I had to not forget, but I had to suppress and turn some of that into the energy that I need for this match to get
Mm,
through.
wow.
Because at the same time, it's something that I need. Because if I don't get this out in some form of a manner, it's going to kill me on the inside. And that manner was beating the shit out of Freddie. It was great.
So is it like therapy then? Like being out there in that ring?
It's therapy. That's why I say, to be a professional wrestler, you gotta be a crazy dysfunctional motherfucker. Like, my language, but it's a fact. Like, you're not right in the head if like, for real. Like, no matter how many people are in it for the money, or how many people are in it just for the fame, or whatever. You gotta be a dysfunctional, crazy motherfucker to want to be a professional wrestler. Like, your body gets to the point to where it's used to all the flying and the yeeting and the beating and the chairs, tables, kendos, everything, to where when you finally get through wrestling, it takes your body about 2-3 days to finally hit with everything that you just been through. And when that happens, you laying down for a while. Not all wrestlers, but some. You know what I mean? Like, when it finally hits you, oh my God. Like, that has happened to me on a regular basis, to where, like, I can wrestle. I'm good. When it's time for me to rest, I wake up the next day when all the adrenaline has ran out my body. Bam, I'm blue and purple. Ah, where does this come from? Like, why do I hurt here? Why do I hurt? Like, worst thing ever. So it's like, it's therapy. And honestly, I paid massive tribute to my trainer, and I still do. Every match that I do is dedicated to my mentor. Not my trainer, my mentor. My trainer is still alive and well. Shout out to my trainer, Steve DeMarco. I love you, Steve. So yeah.
No, I mean, like, I think everyone knows the physical toll the body takes for a professional wrestler in their career, but I think what doesn't get talked about enough is the mental wear and tear of it all.
98.9% people automatically think wrestling is fake. Even and then how people feel about movies. The characters that we have to play is mentally exhausting. Same thing in wrestling. You feel what I'm saying? It's always a mental thing, but a lot of people hear that word fake and automatically be like, you're pretending to be somebody else, so it doesn't matter, you'll be fine. That's not how that goes.
No, like, your character is like 24/7 sometimes. Like, you carry that forth for years. As an actor, the most we carry it on for is like a few seasons, and that's it. It's a wrap. And we have seasons in between. We have breaks in between. Wrestling, there's no seasons.
No breaks. Only breaks you get is, unfortunately, when you get injured.
Right, exactly. And then the time away from family, traveling, the hustle, the grind.
Oh my God.
Like all of it.
We're going on almost a year since I've seen my family. I've been on my comeback tour since April of last year to now. And it's still going, man. It's still going. So trust and believe, if anybody understands, it's me, because I go through it mentally every day. But when we do, we try. And then at the same time, I have to also tell myself that, it's okay to rest, because when I get through wrestling, and I'm hurting, like, I want to go to the gym because I know I need to work out, but I know I need to rest. But then I feel like if I'm resting, I'm being lazy, and then I start being super hard on myself, and then now my mental is triggered, and then now this depression didn't hit me, and then now my anxiety is out of control, and it's so much. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like trying to find a balance is very challenging. It's not impossible.
It's
very
so challenging.
It's very challenging, but it's possible, and I'm there. Like, here's the balance bar. we're like right here because like still had a lot of stuff going on that I'm still getting back situated, and then we're almost here. And when we're back here, everybody is more fucked than what they already are right now. You feel what I'm saying? So, there's
Hey man,
that, respectfully.
you're right there. You're doing better than I am because I feel like I'm down here right now. But hey,
Hey, you're
listen.
not. But here's the thing, not to get off of it, because I know like we're really, really going. We haven't even begun to get into stuff. But here's the thing that you have to understand and realize is that you're not down there because you're alive. You're being a hell of a father.
Oh,
You're
thank you.
being a hell of a husband. You're also pursuing your acting. You're also doing podcast. Uh, I don't see how the fuck you feel down here, because if that was the case, then we wouldn't be having this interview because you would be in bed. Nobody, like, you would
I'm
probably
talking.
literally be like in a straight jacket right now, eating applesauce, trying to figure out what the fuck to do with your life. But it's not the case. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? You're right here. You're right here
I'll
with me. Okay.
I'll take that. I'll take that as a win.
You
I'm talking
you ain't got a
balance.
fucking choice, Mark. I'll fuck you up if you don't take it.
That's twice saying you're
Get
gonna
out of
fuck me up.
here. Get out of here.
Well, speaking of fucking people up, you do have a match coming up January 29th at BCW's Queen of the North 4 at Richfield Park, New Jersey, where you will be defending your BCW Women's Championship against Dani Mo after suffering a heartbreaking loss at Welcome to the New Year against O'Shea Edwards. What is your mindset going into this matchup?
Oh, you just had to. Oh.
I had to. I had to. I had to go there. Journalistic integrity here.
I don't even think heartbreaking begins to describe. Because, like, I didn't lose. Technically, I did not lose.
That's
The
a fact.
first pinfall that allowed that bell to ring was when I knocked O'Shea's fucking head off. And I got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was the commentary. Yeah, I remember that. The referee was out cold. You had to win. Hell, they counted 13 technically because he did get the pinfall.
I got the pinfall. O'Shea lost. I pinned him fair and square. Oh, and then what happened? Taken away. I like how AJ Penn, Anthony Cole, they could all be out there when this fuckery happened. But when the fuckery happened doing the Grand Dragon tournament, nobody was there. Nobody saw what happened. And now I got this gnat that won't go away.
Talking about Jay Bougie.
Like, it's the same person that talked about clout, posers, trying to latch on to stuff, leeches, all this other stuff. And yet, after I matched, I didn't mention this dude no more. I didn't care, Mark. Why? Because he was beneath me. He don't matter. He's a non-factor when it comes to my wrestling career. But what happens? He's still here. He still bothers me. He still bothers me, Mark. Mark.
I see. He's always around.
Me. Why? I don't care. I want him gone out of my life, out of my locker room. I'm tired of seeing him. I don't want to see his face. You caused me a match that meant everything to me. A match that didn't almost finish happening off the rip from the beginning. And everybody wanted to talk, oh, Lala got her ass whooped. Lala got her ass whooped. Lala got her ass whooped. Let's give thanks. I said that I was going to knock O'Shea's head off. I did that.
Fact.
Said I was going to make him breathe. I did that.
Fact.
I said I was going to pin him. I did that.
Fact.
And here's the thing about it: no matter how much O'Shea and I hope at some point you take a part of this and you send it, and you tag him. Just fuck him. Like, you sat here and said how you didn't care, but you decided to go 4 minutes on and on about how you didn't care about wrestling me. I was a non-factor, you know. Then it was the fuck my respect. You don't want it. Fuck me and fuck prolific, and you asked for this match. Like, all of this animosity for somebody that didn't care. Like, I struck a nerve. His big back kaiju feathers was ruffled. You are 6'3", 273 pounds. 5'6", 5'7". On a good day, say what I said. 240. And yet still, you felt it was necessary to go on above me on trying to take me out off the rip in the beginning. Why? Because you knew I was a threat. You tried to take my arm out. Why? Because you knew what that lariat was going to do. You're big for no reason. I made your big ass scared. And it showed. Because it was no longer about a wrestling match. It was about legitimately you was trying to make a point. You once again underestimated me because you felt like after that German, that was it. But what happened? I kept fighting. I got up. As a matter of fact, I never failed. I took it. I rolled out. I walked it off legitimately. Kept fighting because that's what I do.
It was a badass German, I'll tell you that.
Every time I see it, my neck hurts. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I'm just like, ah. I'm gonna be dead ass honest with you. And it I don't care, like, who sees it or like, really, like, for real. When I took it, like it's one of those things that I tell seminars that I do when I go and like train students, or like I give them advice on, when they're like, hey, how do I take a back bump without keep hitting my head or giving myself a concussion? And I was like, if you was a female, I say, hey, look at your boobs. You'd be like, what? Look at your boobs. That's how you bump. Oh,
That
or
makes
like,
sense. Yeah,
I'll
okay.
see the dudes and I'll be like, look at your penis. They'd be like, what? Look at your penis. They'd be like, I see how your tennis, you see how your chin is tucked into your chest? Exactly like that. So like, I had a Sherlock Holmes moment when it happened. So like when he threw me, as I was in the air, even though it looked quick for y'all, I was in slow motion and I paused and was like, okay, this is gonna hurt regardless. But how you protect yourself is going to decide how much this is going to hurt. So when I say I looked at my boobs so hard to where I smell them, yo, we were Gucci.
He gave it to you. He gave it to you good. I mean, that was probably the worst beating I've seen you take, but you came back for more and you gave it back to him.
Facts. You know what I mean? So it's like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you felt like you had to go above and beyond to um, try to get rid of me.
You're
You are
still here.
horribly miserable at it. You are miserable at it because I'm still here. And I ain't done with you. Like, I hope you know that. Like, every time I get an opportunity to see you, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, I mean that. Like, I'm like, you can mark me, you can quote me on it. I don't care. I'm not done with O'Shea Edwards, not by a long haul.
But then, like, does that heartbreak of a loss, does that, even like that matchup itself, it took a physical toll on you. Does that play in the back of your head coming up to such an important matchup that you have here again at Queen of North Fort, defending your championship against Dani Mo?
It's not. No, it don't. I'm already pissed off as it is. Like, point blank, period. And how that match went, that doesn't make it any better. And then the fact about it is that it's like every time I get an opponent, everybody and their mother wants to come out and just cheer for this person. Like, nobody ever cheers for me. except for, my friends that I know. Besides that, every time a title defense goes up that I'm about to beat somebody up, everybody already goes for them. Brittany Blake, oh, let's go, Brittany. Let's go, Brittany. What happened? She was Lariat victim 1,769. And then here's Dani Mo. Oh, it's going to be Dani Mo's season. No, it's not. She's not adding the extra belt to shit. I'm not worried. This is what I do. I gladly took that target and put it on my back and asked for anybody that wanted to smoke. And I meant that. This ain't no different. I am the best BCW women's champion, period, point blank. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. Disrespectfully.
There is also
I
the
have
factor,
defended that
though,
belt everywhere. Everywhere, Mark. Outside of New York, outside of New Jersey, Connecticut, Ohio, Georgia, Tennessee, wherever I fucking please, I want to take the belt and defend it. And it don't matter because I still walk out your BCW Women's Champion. This ain't no different. I know who Dani Mo is. Here's the thing about it, Mark. I do my homework on everybody, whether I know I'm going to wrestle them, whether I don't know who I'm wrestling, whether I have a hint of who I'm wrestling, whether I have a divine intervention of who I'm wrestling. I do my homework on everybody that I feel can give me a run for my money. And when I do my homework on them and I dissect them, I really see that they never really could give me a run for my money. Not even on my worst day is it their best day. Do I care? No. So at the end of the day, you're still going to be talking to the BCW Women's Champion. And then after I beat her ass and knock her head off, I'm going to go find O'Shea and I'm going to knock his fucking head off again. Because now, everybody, until I get back to O'Shea, has nobody but O'Shea to blame. I literally stood my ground by myself. I held my own by myself. Not even his big ass can take that away from me. Not even nobody can take that away from me. I held my own with O'Shea Edwards for more than 10 minutes, for more than 12 minutes, for more than 15 minutes, for more than 16 minutes. I damn near wrestled this man for 20 minutes. Held my own by myself. And do you think that really makes me a loser? Or does that make me very more dangerous? I don't know. I guess we'll see when I whoop Dani Mo's ass on the 29th.
Damn. I mean, you obviously feel a certain way going into this matchup. And yes, I mean, everything you said is a fact, but there's also a fact about this. Any woman that has won the Queen of the North tournament has gone on to win champions, become the women's champion in BCW. Dani Mo did win the last Queen of the North, which earned her this title shot here. Does that play a factor at all into this?
You out of all people should know about superstition. Let's really be honest about it. First BCW Women's Champion. Didn't do anything with the belt. Second BCW Women's Champion. Didn't do anything with the belt. Hell, people didn't even know that the BCW Women's Division even existed. Ever since Ruthless Lala became BCW Women's Champion, everybody has constantly been talking about the BCW Women's Division because everybody wants to see who are they going to get to try to dethrone the Queen Super Cyber Saiyan God herself. That's it. I have went above and beyond and put prestige on that belt. So whenever I'm dethroned, which is no time soon, that is going to be big, massive fucking shoes to fill. Because I went above and beyond and putting prestige on that belt, and not even anybody on their worst, best, horrible day. Even if I'm in the hospital on the ICU and only got an hour left to my life, could beat me or be a better BCW women's champion than me. I take that belt and I put that belt in the same category as if it's my child or if it's my best friend. You mess with that belt, we got problems. You mess with my family, we got problems. Anybody that I hold very dear to my heart, we have problems. That BCW is very dear to my heart. I've worked very, very, very hard to get back to where I needed to be. And I worked very hard to get that belt and to hold on to it. And I'd be damned if any neon moonlight is going to come in and take my belt and try to add it to her collection. This is the difference. She's a belt collector just to look good with it. I collect belts to put prestige on them. We're not the same.
Damn.
I say it again, so it's understood. I have all the utmost respect for Dani Mo. Hell, I like Dani Mo. Taking a couple of pictures with her when I was at CCW in Houston, Delaware. You feel me? Like, I like Dani Mo. This is my belt. This is not personal. This is business. Business aspect, I'm gonna whoop her ass. And you're gonna still be looking at the BCW Women's Champion. I don't care about the superstitions of who gets the Queen of the North, and it's the same superstition of if you catch the bouquet, you're supposed to get married, and we all see how that happens.
Very true.
No different. I give Dani Mo the respect, but then at the same time, we're gonna also knock Dani Mo's head off. And as much as she says she's not going to La La Land, don't worry, I got something for that.